Hello and welcome. Let's talk about a promise you've probably seen 100 times online. The 60-second lazy back fix. The one weird trick to end pain after 60. It's an alluring headline, isn't it? It speaks to that deep desire to just find something, anything, that works quickly and lets you get back to your life. But if you're here, watching this video, I'm willing to bet you've also felt a little flicker of skepticism, maybe even frustration. You've likely tried a thing or two, and the lasting relief you were promised never quite materialized. Maybe the pain eased for a moment, only to return with a vengeance the next day. And if you've ever found yourself sitting in your favorite chair, feeling that familiar ache creep in, and thought to yourself, well, this is just part of getting older, I am here today to respectfully but firmly challenge that very idea. My goal today isn't to sell you another fleeting 60-second fantasy. It's to offer you something far more valuable, a smarter way to think about and manage your back pain, a way that puts you back in the driver's seat of your own health. We're going to go beyond the quick fix and build a foundation for lasting comfort and confidence. Over the next few minutes, we're going to embark on a bit of a journey together. We're going to dismantle some of the most common and most disempowering myths about back pain that are specifically targeted at folks over 60. These are the ideas that can make you feel helpless, like your body is working against you. And let me be clear, this isn't just my opinion. We'll be looking at what top-tier institutions like the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins Medicine have to say on the matter. We'll explore why the idea of a single magic exercise, while tempting, is often a dead end. And then, most importantly, I'm going to guide you through 3 incredibly gentle, safe, and effective movements you can do right from the comfort of your chair. These aren't about becoming a gymnast. They're about reestablishing a friendly conversation with your own body. We'll talk about why consistency with these gentle movements is so much more powerful than an intense occasional workout. And finally, we'll discuss how you can take this knowledge and become your own best advocate, transforming your conversations with your doctor from a passive report of symptoms into an active partnership for your well-being. So if you're tired of the empty promises and you're ready for a real, no-nonsense conversation about what it truly takes to feel better, then you are in exactly the right place. And a quick but important reminder, I am not a doctor, and this video is not a substitute for professional medical advice. The information we're sharing today is for educational purposes, designed to support, not replace, the relationship you have with your healthcare provider. The goal is to empower you with knowledge so you can have more informed conversations and make the best decisions for your unique situation. Always consult with a qualified professional before starting any new exercise program, especially if you have a pre-existing condition. All right, let's dive right into the heart of the matter. The first, and perhaps most important step, is to simply acknowledge the frustration. If you're dealing with chronic back pain, you know it's more than just a physical sensation. It's the canceled plans with grandkids. It's the hesitation before bending down in the garden. It's that quiet sense of dread when you have to sit in the car for a long drive. It's a fief of joy and independence. And into that vulnerable space comes the endless barrage of online ads promising a miracle. You've seen them. They often feature a smiling, silver-haired person effortlessly touching their toes, all thanks to one weird trick discovered by a rogue physical therapist. It's so tempting because it promises an end to a complex problem with a simple, effortless solution. The honest truth is, these ads prey on our very human desire for hope and a quick resolution. And it's perfectly understandable why we click. We want to believe. But true, sustainable relief for a chronic issue like back pain rarely, if ever, comes from a single magical fix. Your back is an incredibly complex structure of bones, muscles, nerves, and ligaments that have supported you for a lifetime. The idea that one 60-second stretch could undo years of stress, strain, or degenerative change is unfortunately a fantasy. Acknowledging this isn't meant to be discouraging. In fact, it's the opposite. It's the first step toward real empowerment. It's about letting go of the false hope that keeps you chasing miracle cures, and instead grabbing the reins of a realistic, steady, and effective strategy. It's about moving from a mindset of being fixed to a mindset of building resilience. And that is a far more powerful place to be. This brings us directly to the biggest myth of all, the one that can feel like a life sentence: the belief that significant, persistent back pain is just an unavoidable part of getting older. You hear it from friends. You might even hear it hinted at by overworked doctors. It's the idea that your spine has a warranty that simply expires around your 60th birthday. Let me be very clear. This is one of the most pervasive and damaging misconceptions about aging. While it's true that our bodies change as we get older, and things like degenerative disc disease become more common, pain is not the guaranteed outcome. Think about it this way. Gray hair is a common part of aging, but it doesn't hurt. Wrinkles are a common part of aging, but they don't cause physical pain. Degenerative changes in the spine are much the same. In fact, let me share a truly staggering fact with you, one that completely changes the conversation. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Neuroradiology looked at MRI scans of people who had absolutely no back pain. What they found was astonishing. In the group of 60-year-olds without any pain, over 90% of them had evidence of disc degeneration. 80% had disc bulging. Let that sink in for a moment. The vast majority of people your age, walking around completely pain-free, have the exact same things showing up on their MRI scans that are often blamed for debilitating pain. What this tells us is that what a doctor sees on a scan is not the full story. It's not a crystal ball that predicts your level of comfort or function. The presence of these changes does not automatically equal a life of pain. Many seniors live vibrant, active lives with little to no back pain because they focus on things they can control: movement, strength, and posture. So the next time that little voice in your head says, "This is just my age," I want you to remember that study. Your age is your experience, your wisdom, your history. It is not your diagnosis. Now that we've established that age isn't a sentence to a bad back, let's look at another related issue: the problem with relying on a single so-called magic exercise. You see these all the time. Do this one stretch every morning to fix your sciatica. This one yoga pose will cure your lower back pain forever. And I want to be empathetic here, because the people promoting these often have good intentions. That one stretch might even provide some temporary relief. When you stretch a tight muscle, it feels good. It sends a signal to your brain that brings a moment of ease. But here's the critical distinction. Temporary relief is not the same as a long-term solution. Think of your back like the foundation of a house. If the foundation is unstable, because some of the support beams are weak and others are brittle, you can't fix the whole structure by just painting one wall. It might look better for a moment, but the underlying problem is still there. Chronic back pain in older adults is rarely caused by one single isolated issue. More often, it's a combination of factors. It could be some muscles that have become weak from disuse, like the deep core muscles. At the same time, other muscles may have become incredibly tight On top of that, the small joints in your spine might have become stiff. If you only do one stretch for your tight hamstrings, you're not addressing the weak core or the stiff spinal joints. You're only painting one wall. A truly effective approach has to be holistic. It needs to gently reintroduce mobility where things are stiff, build strength where things are weak, and improve overall coordination and posture. It's not about finding one magic bullet, but about loading the gun with a variety of safe, effective tools that work together. Okay, let's just take a quick pause here for a moment. If any of this has resonated with you, I would be so grateful if you could take a second to tap that like button below this video. It truly makes a huge difference. Thank you so much for that. Now, let's get to the really good part, what you can actually start doing today. So, if a single exercise isn't the answer, what is? The answer lies in adopting a smarter, not harder, approach to movement. The goal is to build a more resilient, more supported, and more comfortable back. Think of it as waking up muscles that have been asleep and gently lubricating joints that have gotten a bit rusty. These three movements, when done together, address mobility, core activation, and gentle rotation, the three pillars of a happy spine. The first movement is the seated cat-cow. Sit forward in your chair, away from the backrest, with both feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Rest your hands on your knees. Now, on an inhale, I want you to gently arch your back. This is the cow position. Now, as you exhale, I want you to do the opposite. Gently round your spine. This is the cat position. Now, just flow between these two positions, following your breath. The key here is to make the movement slow, smooth, and mindful. Imagine your spine is like a gentle wave. Do this 5 to 10 times. What you're doing is gently mobilizing each vertebra, pumping nutrient-rich fluid into your spinal discs, and releasing tension from your neck to your tailbone. It's like a drink of water for your spine. The second movement in our smarter routine is the seated pelvic tilt. This one is more subtle, but it's incredibly important because it targets the deep core muscles that are essential for spinal stability. I want you to imagine your pelvis is a bowl filled with water. Now gently tilt your pelvis forward. Now gently tilt your pelvis backward. As you tilt backward, you should feel a gentle tightening in your lower abdominal muscles. It's a precise, intelligent movement that teaches your body to support itself from the inside out. Our third and final movement for this chair-based routine is the gentle seated torso twist. So, sitting tall in your chair, feet flat on the floor. On an inhale, imagine a string is pulling the crown of your head up to the ceiling, creating length in your spine. As you exhale, gently begin to twist your upper body to the right. The most important rule here is this. The twist comes from your waist, not from yanking with your arms or your neck. Think of your spine like a spiral staircase. The movement starts at the base and winds its way up. Hold the gentle twist for a couple of deep breaths. On your next inhale, slowly return to the center, and on the exhale, twist to the left. Repeat this 3 to 5 times on each side. Never force the movement. Go only as far as feels comfortable. So there you have it. The seated cat-cow for spinal mobility, the seated pelvic tilt for deep core activation, and the gentle seated torso twist for rotational health. Together, they form a holistic, intelligent routine that addresses the common culprits behind back pain in a way that is safe, accessible, and deeply effective. Now, having these wonderful exercises is one thing, but how you incorporate them into your life is where the real magic happens. This brings us to a crucial principle. the immense power of consistency over intensity. I know many of us come from a no pain, no gain generation. Instead, the goal is to make small, consistent deposits into your body's mobility bank account every single day. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't flood the plant with a bucket of water once a month and hope for the best. You give it a little bit of water consistently every day or two. Your back is the same. Doing that gentle 5 to 10 minute chair routine every single morning while your coffee brews is infinitely more beneficial than a 1 hour, high-intensity gym session once a week. Why? Because consistency does two things. First, it constantly reminds your brain and your nervous system about what healthy, pain-free movement feels like. Second, it gradually builds strength and mobility without ever overloading the system. It's a much kinder and ultimately more effective conversation to have with your body. The goal isn't to conquer your back. This all leads to our final and perhaps most transformative point. This is about empowering you to become an active participant and a powerful self-advocate in your own healthcare journey. So many older adults feel dismissed or unheard in a rushed 15-minute doctor's appointment. We need to change that dynamic, and it starts by shifting your mindset from being a passive patient to being an active partner with your doctor. When you go to your next appointment, don't just go with a list of complaints. Go with a goal. Instead of saying, "My back hurts," try framing it this way. "Doctor, my back pain is preventing me from gardening, which I love. My goal is to be able to comfortably spend 30 minutes in my garden again. Based on my condition, what is the safest way for me to work towards that goal?" You can also bring the knowledge you've gained here. You can say, "I've read that what shows up on an MRI doesn't always correlate with pain." You can ask, "I've been doing some very gentle chair exercises. Are these appropriate for my specific condition?" These questions show that you are engaged, informed, and serious about finding a solution. You are no longer just a collection of symptoms. You are the CEO of your own health, and your doctor is a highly trained consultant you are hiring to help you achieve your objectives. Your health is your most valuable asset, and you have every right to be a curious, vocal, and empowered advocate for it. So let's take a moment to look back at the journey we've taken today. We didn't find a magical 60-second fix, because in our hearts, we knew one didn't really exist. Instead, we found something so much more powerful, a strategy, a victory plan for your well-being. Your first win today was understanding that you are not defined by your age or by an image on an MRI scan. Your second win is the knowledge that a single miracle exercise is a myth. Your third and most practical win is the simple, three-part chair routine we learned together. And finally, your fourth and most empowering win is the realization that you are in control. You have the power to change the conversation with your healthcare providers and to advocate for the care you deserve. The core message of this entire video is one of autonomy. Pain can make you feel powerless, but knowledge, strategy, and consistent action put that power right back where it belongs, in your hands. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these points was the biggest aha moment for you? Was it the statistic about MRIs? Was it the idea of consistency over intensity? Or was it the thought of becoming a more active advocate in your own care? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Reading your experiences and insights is not only helpful for me, but it creates a community of support for everyone watching. If you found this deep dive helpful, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Be well, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.